Good morning and good evening and welcome to this week's live chat. I'm doing something a little different here, so hopefully everything is working. I'm coming through Ecamm, multi-streaming with Ecamm from Australia. So when you multi-stream with Ecamm, it actually, triples, well, I'm going to 3 locations, so it triples the upload speed. So we are like fingers across that it is working. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that kind of good stuff. So in this chat today, I wanted to talk about moderators and moderation, not just for your live streams, but also for your digital communities. So if you are here in the live chat, or if you're watching on the replay, or if you're listening to the podcast, pop in where it is that you would use moderation. So do you have a digital community? Do you run live streams? Let me know in the chat if there is a place where you are building a community online. So, good. Thank you for Travel Around Susie letting me know, and Florida Manufactured Home Living. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that you guys are on YouTube. Just as I hit go live, it was like, oh, you need to fix these things for these other platforms. And I was just like, do I now? Okay. All right. So before the stream, I had live stream consultants popped in. Good morning. How are you? I might just move that over a smidgy dash. Travel Around Susie's made it live. I know it's not the best time for you, Travel Around Susie, so I appreciate you making it. And Florida Manufactured Home Living, Russell, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Holly is here as well. Good evening, everyone. I can see and hear you. That is great to know. I'm working on moderation with regards to sweets. I mean, that'll do it. You need to moderate that too. A timeless jump. Russie, it's so good to see you. And Doug is here. Speaking of moderators, you can't get any better than Doug. I would actually say Doug is the kind of moderator that I would like to be when I grow up. Does that make sense? I very much appreciate all of Doug's hard work, not just here in this community, but in all the communities that I see him in. Leanne's Craft Room is here. Leanne is one of my super mods who is over on the Fiberific channel as well as here. Leanne, so good to see you. Thank you for joining in. I'm just trying to fix this. There we go. I like to make sure everything is visible. Travel Around Susie says, I'm trying to build a community, no mods with my lives. Okay, good to know. All right, so I'm going to jump right in and get started. What inspired this particular stream today, or this topic for this stream today? We stream at this time every day. But what inspired this particular topic is I was in a live stream over the weekend, and somebody mentioned that their mods make their community toxic. And I because I'm a moderator in a few different places, I was like, can moderators really do that? And the shorter answer is, yeah, they can. They really can. Moderators can make or break your communities. One really important thing to remember is moderators need to be an extension of you. So as in, they need to be on the same page. They need to know what you will and will not accept in your community, because at the end of the day, moderators do have superpowers, and that's for a reason. But if you don't have your moderators trained and doing what you want them to do, they're going to go off on their own little path, doing what they think they would like in their community. And that's not really how a good moderator works. So I moderate in quite a few places. And while some of them have a similar ethos and similar viewpoints and standpoints, every single community or live stream that I moderate on has different rules, has different standards of what they will and will not accept as okay. All right, so there's one place where they'll accept most things as long as it's PG-13. So you can go off topic a little bit, that's okay. Some are really strict, you have to keep on topic, remove all the comments that aren't on topic. So all of these things need to be kept in mind, because when you're moderating, when you are a moderator for somebody else, you're working for them. Okay, so that is just really, it's just, you have to keep it in your brain that this is a place that you love to hang out. Otherwise you wouldn't be moderating there. Or you're paid to be there, so keep it professional. So I do have notes, and I did go off a little tangent because the chat's a bit busier than I expected. So let's have a look. Weren't you at one time developing a program to train mods? That's still, it is still on the burners. It's still on the burners. Brown Eyed Girls, where did I land? You landed in a live stream where we talk about moderation. Today we're talking about moderation, but we talk about all things live streaming here. Create a classroom. Bad mods are terrible. And Doug has said, mods can make or break a live chat. Absolutely. Jerry Papandrea has turned up. Brown Eyes Girl says, there is one guy who is a live streamer who has no exaggeration about 20 moderators and doesn't have them moderate unless it's a chat for big event. Okay. Well, and that is things, that's something to keep in mind as well. And I do want to talk about, and I will be touching on just a little bit down the track, the advantages of more versus less mods, things like that. So I'll have that as well. I have a couple of mods for my live streams and Premiere, so I know how to keep it hard. Gee, that is good. That is good. Wow, mods make or break you. That's why I did 3 interviews recorded, not live. Now, something I want to say, excuse me, I do have a drink and I will take some right now. Okay, so something I want to clarify is I'm not just talking about live stream mods right now. So moderators, specifically on YouTube, can moderate live chats like what Doug and Leanne are doing right now. They're keeping an eye on the chat. Hang on a second. Okay, so they're keeping an eye on the chat. They are making sure that everyone's friendly, that there's no inappropriateness, there's no bots, there's no scammers, there's all that kind of stuff. There's those kinds of things. But when you give somebody the moderator wrench on YouTube, that is not the only powers that they have. They can remove good questions so that they're not seen by the streamer. They can change the tone of the chat. They can actually go into your replays and your VOD, so the videos that you upload, and they can remove comments from there as well. So while mods are super useful, if you haven't trained your moderator, if you haven't given them sort of a baseline or groundwork of what they are and are not expected to do, they could just run rampant through your channel. So you need to trust your moderators. These have to be trusted people. Excuse me, whether you know them in real life or whether or not you've come to know them in digital communities, which happens as well, they need to be trusted people because you are giving them access to change things. You are giving them the ability to change the tone. That could be for good or bad. Absolutely. It can be good or bad. So keeping in mind that your moderators need to be an extension of you, they need to understand what it is that they're doing. So are they helping your community? Do you need to know? You need to sit down and you need to think about what is it that you want your mods to do? What is your expectation? So drop in the chat right now, what is one thing you would absolutely expect a mod to know to do? So let me know if there is something that you want them to know. I'm going to, while you guys are writing those in, I'm going to have a little look and see if we've had some extra people come in. Florida Manufactured, what do you think about AI recording bots as mods, as a mod? I know that there are some around and some can work, but for the most part, I prefer human mods. Howdy from Home Rapid Repair. One channel accidentally banned me and I'm not even sure it's been fixed yet. And it can actually be quite hard to remove somebody who has been banned, especially if it's a channel that's been, it's a channel that has a lot of banned people. You actually have to, it doesn't put them in any particular order that I can see. So they're gonna have to scrub through the whole list and find your name and undo you, undo the banning. It can be awkward. It can be awkward. Scully's House of Thrillers is here. That is awesome. I didn't know they had so much control. And then managing mods have even more access. So you need to trust your moderators. Big Doug is here. Dimmy Hart, great to see you. Remember to like the live stream. Thank you. Yes, that would be amazing. I love this. I have wrenches, but I am not a mod. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's something else to keep in mind. So when you're looking at this chat, right, your moderators that are here, they are highlighted in the live stream. Like right now, Doug is, well, let me see if I can scrub back. I think he's the most recent. There we go. There's one. Doug has got a blue wrench right here. His name is blue. He has a blue wrench. And within the chat we're in here on YouTube of the sea of white and gray, I am on dark mode. In the sea of white and gray, Doug is blue. So they have status. They do stand out. They are an extent. If your mod is bad and you don't do anything about it as the streamer or as the person who owns or runs the community, the people in your community think you're okay with it because you've given them this sort of sign of what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. Approval. They've been given additional approval. Okay, let's have a look here. Some answers to the questions. I would like them to ban spammers and trolls. That's an excellent job. I would assume a moderator would know how to handle rude people. Absolutely. I'm just seeing if there's any more answers to the question. A good idea. They can put in good ideas. Absolutely. All right. So let's have a think about some of the things. So one thing that I think that's really important is a moderator can help your community. So your moderator, that's a good one. Reminding of hydration. Yeah, there is a stream where I have an alert that reminds me to remind the streamer to hydrate because it's very easy to forget. You get sucked into what you're doing and you forget, and then your voice goes raspy. So yeah, it's yes, swords. Is that useful as a moderator? It can be. It can be. Okay. Brown Eyes Girls has asked a question. I'm going to actually, I've got that as a point coming up. So I'm not ignoring you. I've got to, believe it or not, I have notes. I know how rambly I sound. I've had a little bit too much Ventolin this morning, so I'm a little shaky. So I know how rambly I sound, but I haven't missed it. But your mods need to help your community. That is their number one thing. Your mods are here to help you help your community. All right? So they need to be knowledgeable on the topics that you are talking about. They need to have a passion for the community. They want the community to be as good, just as good as you. And they need to know how to handle the trolls and the scammers and the negative stuff. Absolutely. Oh, no, it's totally okay, Brown Eyes Girl. It's totally okay. Because some days it's not like this. They can help the creators by keeping the chat and the Discords and the Facebook groups and wherever they're moderating, keeping them to the rules. So having public rules is very important so your moderators can refer people back to the rules. Remembering, there's no self-promo or, you can't use language like that or whatever it is, but you need to have created a list of rules. If you look in my description right now, there is a list of rules for the chat. Over on my other channel where I have access to it, YouTube allows me to set rules that people have to agree to before they come in. On this channel, I am not there yet because this is a newer channel, so I don't have that ability. So I have my chat rules in my description. So if you are unsure, always have a little look in the description. Sometimes the rules are in there. So they wield the hammer. Sometimes having somebody else in the chat dealing with the negative, the trolls, the scammers, anything like that means that you as a streamer can just focus on what it is that you want to focus on. So your message, your topic, the people that are doing the right thing, whatever it is, knowing somebody else has got your back with the wrench or the band hammer, can just knowing that they're there doing that task can make a huge difference to the stream in itself. So the other thing that moderators, they can highlight things. They can, you know, usually, I say usually, okay? Usually you can see the mod messages. They get highlighted because they come up in a different color because they're blue. And if the mod is sending you a message like, hey, you've missed a super chat, or hey, such and such had a great question, you know, things like that. The mods can highlight things for you that you may have missed. But the other thing that they can do is they can add links. So if I wanted to talk about the fact that I have Ecamm here, and I do have the link in the description, if I knew one of my mods had a link list, which they don't for this channel, which is, you know, my bad, they could drop my Ecamm link into the into the chat. So you've got a clickable link. So mods have that powers. Now, if you don't have links disabled on your channel, I highly recommend you go into your customization settings and you instantly do that. You do not want random people being able to add links. You have no idea where those links go to. And this is one way to protect your community, that the only people that can add links are you and your moderators, people you trust. Because you could send a really well-meaning, amazing member of your community off to some random website where they end up with malware or they're scammed, and that's going to reflect on you. So making sure your mods are the only people that have that power and that access to being able to do that for you is so important, because they are an extension of you. Your community automatically will trust your mods as long as you are building a safe space. Okay, creating a good mod for a creator. No link list. I know, Doug, I know. The second I wrote it down, I was like, yeah, I should probably get that link list sorted. So one of the things that you should be doing for your moderators is not just assuming they can do everything, right? That way lies madness, okay? If you want your mods to behave in a certain way, to speak in a certain way, to do certain things, to link to certain things, or not to link, how are they going to know unless you tell them? And if you've got a really busy chat, you don't want to be having to go, oh, mods, can you do this? Oh, mods, can you do... No, you want your mods to automatically do these things, okay? So you need to help your mods. You can't just randomly choose somebody in the chat to be a moderator and just hope they're going to do what you want to do. No. I find that for myself, as a person who moderates for a few different people, those creators that have reached out to me outside of the stream and have taken the time to run through what the rules are, what their expectations are, I find that those are the streams that are easiest and the best enjoyment factor for me to mod at. Now, mods don't always get paid, and so you want to be able to enjoy it as well. You want to turn up, right? Like some of the streams I mod for are not in my comfort time zones. Oh, let's just put that, comfort time zones. So I've got to want to be there. And if it feels like a dumpster fire and everything's on my shoulders, I'm not going to want to be there for that. You want to make an enjoyable place, okay? And so you want to make it so that the mods want to be there. So encouraging your moderators, giving them the backup and the training that they need. This can come down to like a video call with them, or even just a messaging group for your moderators so they can talk to each other as well. The link list, a list of approved links. So if you've got affiliates that you want to mention, you make sure they're on that list. So all a mod has to do is jump in, cut and paste, drop it into your chat. Or like I have, some of the streams I have, I'm set them up in my stream deck already. So the second that something is mentioned, I can just hit a button on my stream deck and it is there for the community. So you need to train your moderators, assuming that a moderator is going to come in and know what to do. You're asking for trouble unless you're paying for a professional moderator, and even they will have a list of things that they want to know. A professional moderator will ask you for the links. They will ask you for your rules. They will ask for all these things. Why not already have it set up and help those beginner moderators or those volunteer moderators make their life easier? So we have had the question a couple of times, how to choose a good moderator. Now, this may be harder when you are first streaming, but choosing somebody that you trust is important. So if your moderator is somebody outside of your community, but it's somebody that you trust to come in and help out, that is one of those things. You need to have a level of trust and know that they've got your back in the chat. You need to trust them. Okay, so that's the first and foremost thing. They have access. They have status within the chat. They're blue. They're blue. They stand out. They have status. You want them to be speaking for you, so they have to be somebody you trust. If you have an existing community and there is somebody in there that is helping others, that is always there or there regularly, excuse me, you need to ask them first privately if possible. Sometimes even I've done it. I'll be in a stream and I'll realize I have no moderators and things are getting hectic. The spammers have come in and I will just be like, hey, such and such, can I make you a mod and you can deal with this? And I wait for their answer. Don't just mod them. And don't mod everybody, honestly. Modding is not a reward for regular attendance. Okay? It is not that. Modding is a weight and it is a task you've asked somebody to take on for good moderation. Okay? So they need to be somebody you trust. They need to be, if possible, especially further down the track, an existing member of your community. Somebody who turns up, knows the drill. You see them in the chat. You see them helping out the new people understand things. It's nearly like they're training themselves to be a moderator. So that they understand the group rules. They understand the group dynamics. Offer them a wrench, but try and contact them outside of the stream. Find a way. Ask them to email you. Hey, I've got a question for you. Can you send me an email? If the only way you can usually talk to them is through this chat. So make sure that you absolutely trust them, that they are part of your community. Now, it's very easy. And I just saw it pop up. It's very easy. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. SMA Sky. There you go. That is a red flag. The second somebody comes into one of my chats, a name I don't know, and says, make me a mod, that's a red flag. They will never be a mod on my channel. And even if they're like, I mod on 14 other things, make me a mod. No. Unless I've specifically had a call out and I've specifically said, hey, I need an extra mod. Can somebody please raise their hand to be a mod? Unless I've asked that question, that is an instant red flag and their name goes on a list and I will not make them a mod. Okay? It's not, yes, I'm the same. See, I almost want to ban those people. I don't, but I almost want to. And sometimes they're quite aggressive in the chat. If they are, then I ban them. And this is the thing, you want a particular type of person to be your mod. A particular type of person. Now, Russell mentioned earlier in the chat, Home Rapid Repair, he was asking about Otter AI. Now, I will be honest, I've never seen Otter AI used in YouTube. The only place I've seen Otter AI is in Zoom calls. And I instantly remove them. I record my own Zoom calls, any that need to be recorded, any that I expect a transcription made of, anything like that. I record them myself. If a person cannot attend and they've sent their Otter AI, sorry, you've missed out. You can watch the replay. I don't allow them in my chat. Some of them send DMs to every attendee. That ruins the experience for people. They know this thing's being recorded by somebody outside of the person they trust. Some people don't like that. So I remove them. That is an automatic thing for me. The second I see any of those kinds of recording or transcribing bots that appear in a Zoom call, they are booted instantly. I don't keep them. I'm just scrubbing. There's some great questions here in the chat, so I'm just scrubbing through. What have I done there? I touched something, didn't I? Whoops. Fix that up. Live streaming. I know what it was. I must have had it selected and then rolled the wheel because I unlocked it earlier. There we go. It's locked now. Where was it? We're talking about how you select your moderators. So if you have any more questions about how selecting moderators happens, please drop them in the chat. But my top tips are somebody you already know or trust, somebody professional that you've hired, but again, you need to trust, or also somebody that is just the A1 star in your community already. Ask them first. Don't automatically give them the wrench. Some of them don't want it. There was other questions. Here is section. Here we go. I've seen live streams in my niche with toxic male crap. No mods. The creator was part of it too. Crazy. This is the thing. Your live streams and your community are an extension of you. If you allow this stuff, it will change the tone of your community, and the chances of you actually getting a balanced conversation are much lower. The chance of, if it's toxic male stuff, the chance of getting a female audience is much lower. It's just one of these things. Like, you want a place, you're trying to create a community. Okay, so you want to create a community, you need to make a safe place for that community to speak, to ask their questions without being piled on. You need to make all these things possible. And this is not just for YouTube, but Discord, Facebook, anywhere you have a digital community, you are making a safe space. Now, these people that tell me, oh, it's too hard to organize this, it's too hard to do this, I just let it go and let them deal with themselves, blah, I'm out. I'm sorry. If it's too hard for you to moderate your community or to moderate the comments, you don't have a community. You have a dumpster fire. So either yourself or admins or mods that you trust need to be in there making that happen. That, to me, the whole it's too hard, I don't have time, that attitude is what creates toxic places. Now I'm scrolling. I've got to scroll back down again. Let's have a look. What are your top 3 must-knows for a beginner moderator? They must know when to ban and when not to ban. Because some people are cheeky and they don't actually mean anything by it. And if you don't know, then timeout is better than ban. And you can send a message through to your streamer and ask them later, hey, would you have preferred it if I banned this person? Because it especially now with the longer timeout options, you can time them out, so they can't talk in that stream at all, but they're not blocked. Okay, so the next stream, or how the long time that period disappears, whether it was 5 minutes or 24 hours, they can't chat again till that time limit's up. So having them timed out for an extended period of time works better. Now, I know for myself, like Doug is in here. Doug and I moderate fairly similarly. I know what he does, how he thinks. Well, when it comes to moderation chat. And so being able, like, knowing that if somebody starts coming in with like the multiple of the same question, they're instantly timed out, depending on what they're typing over and over again, the content of that could be an instant ban as well. Disrespect to the other moderators or the streamer. Anyone showing disrespect to the moderators or the streamer is an instant ban. So I've got these like rules, and my top 3 things is not being, especially for the beginner mods, don't be too heavy-handed with somebody where it's borderline. Understand how to use the tools. So you need to hover over the thing, click the button, and make the decision. So it's either remove the comment, put the user in timeout, hide the user on the channel. I also have add as moderator because it's my stream. Other moderators can't add moderators. But being able to differentiate between the things. So just understanding that a timeout is safer than a block, especially if it's borderline. That's probably my biggest one. Let's have a look. I've been dumpster fires. I've been a wrench during some of those fun times. Personally, I think mods should have a set of rules they follow. Some channels don't have specific rules. So when you're a mod for a channel, you're an extension of that streamer. So if they don't have any rules and they allow the dumpster fire, I probably wouldn't work for that streamer personally. I wouldn't moderate for someone that had no rules. I would suggest they get some rules. Even just some little basic ones, like even just what I've got in my description, just a couple of basic don't be mean to people rules, okay? So it's definitely one of these sort of, it's a gray area because some people are happy to be the moderator in those dumpster fires. And you have to decide as a person, do you want to be trying to, you know, wrangle those cats? Like for me, the answer is no. If there's no chat rules and I've got no guidelines of what to work with, my rules are be kind, be nice, and I might start deleting comments and banning, and the streamer could be like, what are you doing? Be like, I'm cleaning up your chat. That may not be what they want. So this is the trick. This is the problem. A lot of streamers don't train their moderators. They just moderate people. They just be like, yeah, there you go. You've got the wrench. It's on you now. You go and do that thing. But they're not given any guidelines. So those people, especially in those chats, they can be just as terrible. I'm going to go with terrible. They could be just as terrible as the people that they're there to moderate, because they're given no guidelines, and the from previous chats and previous things that they're seeing, there is all sorts of ways to moderate or not moderate. And from what they're seeing in those particular streams, leaving the dumpster fire seems to be okay. So are they going to fix it? I don't know. You need to train your moderators. They need to understand what the limitations are. Are most moderators paid? What's reasonable to offer someone to moderate a 1 hour chat? Okay. I would say most moderators are not paid. I personally think most moderators aren't given any respect in a lot of the chats I've seen that by the streamers. They're just expected to be there. I've seen streamers, and I will say it's not anybody I moderate for, but I've seen streamers actually in their stream get angry at moderators for not showing up. You know, oh, I've got 6 moderators and none of them are here and they're not reliable. It's like, how much are you paying them to be there? Why would it be a priority for them? What on earth would make them want to come along to that? So if you want your moderators to make your stream an absolute priority, like in my calendar, I've got windows blocked out. I do not book in anything over streams I'm paid for. Streams I'm not paid for, they may get pushed aside, they may not, depends on what it is. But if I am being paid to moderate a stream, I will be there just before the stream starts, like at whatever specified amount of time before the stream starts. I will double check the comments left before the stream, remove anything, start dropping in links for different things that are supposed to be there, whatever it is the discussion I've had with the streamer. If you expect your moderators to act in a professional manner, you need to act professionally towards your moderators, okay? I have this saying, the fish rots from the head. If the streamer is allowing a dumpster fire, the moderators will allow a dumpster fire. Now, when it comes to how much, that's going to depend on the moderator. I'm really sorry. I don't have a hard and fast rule because there's differences like what kind of time zones you're expecting them to turn up in, what kind of skills they're expected to have. For me, I charge around the sort of $25-ish US an hour-ish. It depends. But it will depend, okay? So, and as Doug has just brought into the chat here, which I'm waiting for it to come to Ecamm, many do a do it as a form of support, or the streamer might pay in perks and merch. I have some streams that I moderate for that I am not paid for, but I have access to something that other people would need to pay for, like if it's a course or if it's like additional tools or something. I've been given access because of this. Some of them are just because I love the stream. I'm just there, and I was that person in the chat who was always there and being kind and helpful, and they asked if I wanted a wrench and I said sure. So there's so many varying ways, but one of the things that you absolutely have to pay your moderator in is respect. Respect for their time and respect for their skills. So if you don't help them and you don't teach them, I don't know what it is that you're expecting. So I'm just going to go back up here because there's so many great comments in the chat today. How do I reward my mods without paying them as a thank you for the help? Do you know what? One thing that I absolutely personally love is being able to jump on a call and having 15 minutes of someone's time. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but having 15 minutes of somebody's time and going, hey, you know, thanks so much for being a mod for me. I really appreciate that. And just having them actually say it to you, even privately. It doesn't have to, I actually prefer it when it's privately, like when it's a video call or a message or something like that. Saying thank you is a big thing, because quite often there's quite a few chats I'm in where they do not recognize the fact that the mods are in there working hard. There's a particular chat that I'm a moderator on, and I don't think once it's been mentioned that I'm a moderator there working hard. And I am there every single week and dealing with trolls and spammers and scammers. And if you're not going to stream, tell your mods. Like there's you know, sometimes stuff happens and you can't. But one of the things I really don't like is when I'm all set up, I'm ready to moderate, I've blocked out the time, whatever it is, and I've sat down and I'm waiting for the stream to start and there's no stream. And they just haven't mentioned it. That is just disrespect. I think if you can show your moderators some respect and give them some of your time, even 15 minutes, that's a really great way to reward your moderators. If you're a graphic designer or you have some other skills and you can be like, hey, would you like me to make you a pop-up? Or would you like me to, you know, something that just shows them that you think of them at all. Could be nice. This might be a personal thing. Like, let me know in the chat. If you're a moderator for somebody, do you appreciate having the respect and being given the heads up and being given some time? Like, let me know. Let me know. I'm having a look in here. SMA Skies put in a comment here about modding on Discord. See, this is the thing. If you're looking for mods in your digital communities, especially if those communities are international communities, especially if you have like international communities, that 24/7 thing is real. So having a couple of mods across multiple time zones, if you can swing that, is amazing. So if you've got 3 mods, trying to set them on different time zones would be an awesome thing. And just their natural time zones, not be like, okay, Jimmy from the US, you're going to be working from 2 a.m. through to 8 p.m. No, they're natural time zones so that when they jump in and have a look. So having those people do that would be really great. Now for me, who knows? I don't sleep. What's sleep? I've got coffee. But trying to make it so you've got mods covering things, if at all possible. I know some of these things are if possibles, and a lot of moderators are volunteers, okay? You need to, if possible. A lot of these things end with if possible, all right? Let's have a look. If you've got merch, oh my gosh, absolutely. If you have merch, organizing to send them some merch. Absolutely, send them some merch. I'm just scrolling through some of the, like there was so many questions and I really don't want to miss any. So I'm just going through and trying to pick some of them. Nightbot, yes, SMA Sky is talking about Nightbot. Nightbot is a an AI, well not AI, but a virtual mod that if you don't have any options, Nightbot can be helpful. Absolutely. SMA Sky says, I don't tell other people to do this, but when I delete comments or time someone out, I take screenshots. When I am modding for someone new, I do that just to double check that they're okay with it, especially then you've got the name, the handle, if they want to go back in and unscreenshot, unban somebody, unban them. That's what I'm looking for. They can go and do that because they've got the full name. If I'm in Discords, quite a few of the Discords have like evidence lockers. So you actually need to screenshot why you've booted somebody just so that the other mods know. Just so that the other mods or the admins or the owners know. Brown Eyed Girl says, I find it rather insulting for a channel owner to reprimand a moderator in front of his or her audience. It's the penultimate of poor manners. Do you know one thing I'd love to be able to do? I'd love to be able to remove myself as a moderator. Is that a possibility? I don't know if it is. I don't know if I can, actually. Can you? Doug, is that a possibility? If somebody mods you up and you don't want to be a mod, can you... I think a message comes up and says, hey, such and such has modded you and you can decline. I think that's off the top of my head. But it's more that if somebody's modded you when you're not there and you come into the chat, and I think even then when you come into the chat for the first time, there's a message so you can decline. But once you've been accepted that and been made a mod, I don't know if there is a way to actually unmod yourself. If one of the mods could check, so if they right click themselves and see if I don't think it's an option. But I agree with you. It's very insulting to reprimand. I suppose it's like, oh, hey, sorry, I wanted that message left there. That's different. But like an actual being berated, that would be different. Let's have a look here. Did Susie have a question about what can mods do? If you've never been a mod, yeah. So a moderator can time out and they get to choose a time, and I think it's from about 10 seconds to, actually I'm just gonna, sorry Leanne, I'm gonna see how long I have for timeout options. It's 10 seconds to 24 hours. Hopefully that didn't time you out. So you can choose. So depending on how annoying they're being, because I wasn't sure if there was one after the 24 hours, but yeah, you can choose. You get to choose. So timeout, you can just delete that one comment, time them out, which removes all of their comments, block them from the chat, which again removes all of their comments. So yeah. Yeah, you need to be very specific. When you're setting your rules, try and be as specific as possible. Here we go. I've only moderated for free and I get merch and free access to events and such. I also get invited to an annual event that's usually paid, but I've also done some help for them being outside of a mod. Absolutely. And before I was a mod. It definitely depends on what you're doing and what your expectations are. If you expect your mod to turn up every single week, then you need to treat it professionally, and there's different ways. Can you talk about your worst experience to your best? Look, I'll be honest, I'm pretty lucky because being the moderator has meant that anybody, and I'm usually, and this is one of the things I like, if somebody shows disrespect to one of the mods, they are booted. And there have been instances where as a mod, I've been told to shut up, and worse. And my recourse is I don't need to respond to that. I can boot them. Now, obviously it will depend on what led to that, or if it's supposed to be funny or whatever, there's tone, but some people are being rude. and I will just boot them. I will ban people. I am heavy-handed with the ban hammer. And that is probably a failing. Doug and I are quite often on a voice call during our Nick Nimmin mods, and I'll be like, I want to ban them, and he's like, you can't, and I'm like, but I want to. That's a conversation that we've had probably more times than I could count. So yeah, I think minimum you should be thanking your mods. Absolutely. Minimum public thanking of mods. Yeah. Let me have a look here. Yeah, like absolutely. Anything that you can do. If there's something that could just, because I'll be honest, not everybody can afford to pay their mods. It's that simple. And not everybody can afford to send their mods merch or whatever it is, especially if they're international. And I get that. But if you have a skill that your mod would appreciate, offering that skill, and the mods be like, no, I'm good. Like, thank you anyway. It's the offering. Let me have a look here. Oh, I missed that question. Thank you, Leanne, for pointing that out. Russell had a great question, really wanting to know how to tell a host you have an interest in moderating for them. Don't mention it in the live stream. Most YouTubers, Twitch streamers, everybody, they have an email, public-facing email address. Send them an email. Send them a message. If you're in a group of theirs, pop a post in that group, whatever, something other than the live stream, and basically say, hey, my user handle is this. I'm in your streams all the time. I've noticed that you might be looking for my usual, okay, is, hey, my user handle is this. I'm in your chat all of the time. I love to help moderate. I've moderated for other people before, and check out these channels if you're interested. When it comes time for you to select another moderator, I'd love to be considered. And leave it at that. And then if they say, hey, if they're in the middle of a stream, like, hey, I need another moderator, then go, hey, look, I'm happy to help. Put that in the chat. But if they don't ask for a moderator in the stream, don't go, hey, let me mod for you. Like, I don't like that. But making that effort to contact them outside of the live stream, where they've got time to think, where they're not on their feet double checking tech, making sure things are not, crashing and burning. And they don't have to make a decision on their feet. Because, like, for me, if I don't recognize a name instantly, there is no way I'll be like, nope, not modding that person. And then it could turn out that it could be somebody I know in real life and I didn't know their handle. Like modern media makers, I know you, but I don't always remember your handle, like different things like that. So being able to send them that message when their brain's not in live stream mode can be really helpful. Let's go through here. And look, and one thing I'm going to say is sometimes I forget to thank my moderators. And I have moderators on this channel and I have moderators over on the Fiberific channel. And they are all phenomenal people. They go out of their way to help. They are kind and encouraging, and they do all of the things that I personally love as moderators. And they are just really kind-hearted people. And I don't thank them enough. I really don't. I need to do it more often. So thank you to all of you with the wrenches. I do have merch, but not for this channel. I have merch for Fiberific, but not for this channel. Brian May is in the chat. I mod for Philippine-based live stream, which are 12 hours ahead of my time zone. The channel owner streams 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, from 2 to 5 hours. I really hope that if you're expected to be there for all of that time, that there is a benefit to you. That's a lot. That's a lot. I dislike it when a creator doesn't announce the live stream is cancelled. And I also take it, yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a difference between life happening, emergency, tech glitches, whatever, that could still be a community post for the whole community who are expecting, like, hey, sorry, no stream, you know, everything crashed and burned. It's like a 5-second message. It's on your phone. You could be on your way out the door. Sorry, no stream today. That's it. Not even an explanation. Public for the community, not just for the mods. But I particularly don't like it when somebody has no intention of streaming at that time and they just haven't let their mods know that the usual stream's not happening. I wonder if you're a mod and then block the channel, it should remove your, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, Dimmy, I don't think you can. Now, the more I think about it, I don't think you can remove yourself as a mod once you've accepted being a mod. I think that, so if you've changed your mind or something's happened, I don't think there's a way that you can do that. And I think like writing a note for, you know, I've got like this wish list of stuff that I message to Renee, like the YouTube creator liaison every now, like the things that I wish mods could do. And one of the things is I wish I could see, like just going into my channel, I wish I could see the channels that someone's made me a mod on, and then being able to remove any I don't want, but being able to just remove it. Like if you're in a stream and it's just horrible and you're like, I don't want to be associated with this, you just remove mod. I think that would be amazing. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can mod people depending on the webinar software. You can absolutely make mods in those webinar softwares as well. And I think asking the person first is not beyond the realm, unless they're like desperate. They're desperate. I have an upcoming live stream. I have no friends on YouTube and have no money. How can I find free mods? Is there a database of trusted volunteer mods? I don't believe there is, honestly. What I would do is you could send me an email because you do have friends on YouTube for a start. But what I would do is have a look at your community and see who's been in there before and ask them the question. You can, if you have got like a Facebook group or a Discord and there's someone in there that you chat with all the time, you could ask them as well. I don't believe that there is a trusted list because different people have different levels of trust. Different people have different expectations. Can you ban people after your stream? Yes, you can. Grabbing screenshots is super helpful. Like if all you can do is grab a screenshot because you need their channel handle and then you just at whatever that is and drop it into like, so you go into your community and scroll down where you make mods. Under that, keep scrolling, is your list of banned people. You can actually just drop names in there. So you can totally do that after this. I can remove myself. Leanne's saying she can remove herself as a mod. I can remove myself. I see channel activity or go to the channel. Oh, no, you can't remove yourself. Yeah, okay. Yeah, be careful. Be careful, Russell. Absolutely. You can absolutely block or delete messages if the replay is there, for sure. And even in the comments area, you can delete comments. You can't block from the comments area, I don't believe, but you can delete comments. So yeah, that's a nice approach. Thank you. Thank you. If you make someone a mod once, are they automatically always a mod? Yes, they are. They will remain a mod. They are not a mod for that stream. They are a mod for your channel. So anytime you stream or if they go into a VOD, they can remove comments from your normal uploaded videos and they can go into your replays and ban and do all sorts of things there. This is why you need to trust your moderators. They have been given access to tools. I do have another channel. That's right. This is a newish channel for me. My other channel started in 2016. And yes, you can remove mods at any time. So if you realize, oh, such and such is a mod, you can actually just click the 3 dots and remove them as a moderator. Everyone will see it. Everyone will notice, oh my gosh, they're not blue anymore. But you can do it. Let me look here. Yeah, so for creating and moving mods, you can go into settings, community, and you can do it all in there, or you can do it while you're live. I find it easier while you're live, but you can totally do it outside of a live as well. So yeah. Oh, look, you know what? And that is a totally valid reason why there was no stream. That is different. That is a valid reason. That's a valid reason. I also forgot who asked what mods can do. Mods can also check a chatter's profile and their channel activity, so you can see all their previous messages back to a year. Absolutely. So if because I'm the channel owner, I also get to see it. If you click the 3 dots, you can see actually, I don't get the channel. I don't get it. Maybe the mods do. I don't actually have access to channel activity. That is weird. I'm like, definitely logged in as me. I cannot access channel activity. That is a bit weird. My other channel is called Fiberific, Fiberific. It is yarn crafting. It is knitting and crocheting and spinning. So you may not enjoy that content. So that's cool. YouTube should have moderator for that live stream, for the live stream feature. Moderator for only that live stream. Yeah, look, the thing is you can remove them quite easily. So if you just want to have someone as a mod for their channel, for that one individual live stream, you can just go in and remove them. It's so easy. It's not a difficult thing to do. You can either do it at the end of the live stream and just unmod them before you X out of the screen, like in the chat replay. Like I'm using Ecamm. I still have YouTube open. I don't like relying on one thing. Like those of you that were here last week know I'm a suspenders and belt kind of person. I would like to see what YouTube have coming through the chat as well before it gets to Ecamm. So sometimes I've got time to think of an answer. So yeah. I know they do have it. Like I have access to it when I'm a moderator, but I don't seem to have access to it like as a moderator on desktop, but I don't seem to have access to it as the person running the channel. So maybe like they're like, oh, you don't really have time to look at the channel activity. Or maybe it's a feature. It could be a feature that this channel doesn't yet have, because there's a few. All right, now I just want to double check my list here because I don't think I've hit everything off it yet. Oh, look at this. I was like, train and help your mods, make them feel appreciated. So some list of things that if you are going to or planning on having mods or may already have mods, go in and open up your Google Drive. I'm assuming everybody's got a Google Drive. Go and open your Google Drive, or some way for you to share a document, and create a list of rules, a list of expectations. If you've got any examples of what's accepted and what's not accepted, like if there's any nuances, put those in there, make it clear and easy to see so your mods can just go through it and have a little look. Because on some streams, I keep my list of rules open, my list of links open, and then the chat. I have 2 screens. So then my chat open as well. So that depending on, like, I'll be like, I'll read something, I'll be like, and then I'll double check the rules and be like, no, that's allowed. I wouldn't allow that, but that's allowed. So definitely have these things created. It's like anything. Plan for the success. Plan for the fact that you'll have moderators. And it also makes it easier for you. If you're streaming on your own and you need to have access to links, having an easy to cut and paste link list is just awesome. So any of your most mentioned links to like merch or affiliate links or places to check out, anything like that, have a list of things. And if you're doing a specific stream and you know that you're going to, you can add in, have a section for today's stream and then drop extra links in, so that if the mods have got the list open, and then send the mods a message going, hey, I've added some additional links for today's stream. I have a mod chat in a Facebook friends, like Facebook group things, and all of my mods for Fiberific are in a Facebook mod chat, so that they can talk to each other during the stream, and also so that I can just one place mention everything for the stream. I can grab, it depends on the channel. I've got 2 different lists of mod rules, but I'll grab one of those for you. The mod rules are similar to my chat rules, honestly. I'll say that right now. They balance each other out, but I'll get that list sorted. I'll put it somewhere that you guys can access it. Let's see. Doug needs to write a list of mod rules. Yeah, I think so. I think one of the biggest things is, just because you would allow it doesn't mean the streamer would allow it. So yeah, definitely. Now, in places that you can pay and buy and hire mods, you can Google it. There are external sites that will do it. I can't speak to any of them. I've never used any of them. I would personally prefer someone out of my community or somebody out of YouTube, honestly. I don't know what this is, Brown Eyes Girls. I've never heard of that. So I don't know what that is. And again, I wouldn't use random mods. So yeah, it's a personal preference. I want to know my mods. I want to trust them because I'm trusting them in my community. So, yeah. YouTube has YouTube top contributors. YouTube gives them the right to report suspicious accounts and illegal content. I think everybody can report, can't they? I mean, I've got a button to report. I'm just checking it. Yeah, I can report anything. So I think everybody can report. But yeah, anyway, I've never heard of that. And I'm going to write that down so I can have a look at it. All right. Now, my number one thing is, for making assets for your moderators, is make sure that they have access to the rules. They have access to the links. They have access to you, okay? Not unlimited access, obviously, but some way for you to message them and them to message you. So if something happens and they know they're the only moderator on your chat and you rely on them, I personally send a message going, hey, look, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to make the stream next week. Gives them an opportunity to find somebody else if they need to. Or just know, okay, I need to keep an eye on my chat because there's no one else in here. So, yeah. I think the list of participants from the 3 dots is just commenters. It's absolutely right. If someone's lurking and they have not commented during the stream, they will not appear on that list. Absolutely. If I got hired as a mod, if I got hired to work a stream, it would take a few streams to get the vibe of the community, understand the inside language, etc. I agree. If I'm being hired to mod somebody, I'll go back and watch a couple of previous streams. If somebody has hired me to come and mod for them, I may not watch the entire stream if it's really long, but I will watch a good portion of a few different weeks of streams, because one week might be an outlier, but a couple of this previous streams, I will totally go back and check a couple of them, because Doug's right. You don't want to be that mod who just wades in with all the rules and doesn't understand the community. So understanding who you're moderating for is an important thing, which is why I probably wouldn't hire an external moderator who doesn't understand the language or doesn't understand YouTube in itself. So let me check here. I saw something come through. Yeah, know someone who is... And this is the thing. This is why you can mod people out of the live chat. This is 100% the reason, because these are the people in your community. Like, I would say about 90% of you in this chat who are actively chatting, whose names I can see, I recognize your names, and at least a few of you, I would feel comfortable sending a DM going, hey, I need an extra mod for next week. Would that be something you would be interested in doing? So, yeah. I was wondering if you guys could hear the music. I do have it set to fairly quiet today. The creator mix track sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah. Doug's right. Is pretty much, we should just have that on a shirt. Doug's right. Just leave it as is. Doug's right. I'd wear that shirt. Tech for your needs. I appreciate you taking the time. Very much. Thank you. Ah. I saw that. I was so an apple. I knew where you were going with that one because I saw it. It was an apple question that Doug had the answer to, and it was very. I don't know what Annalie is. Yeah. That's new. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Doug Hewson does have a great playlist on moderation. He really does. He really does. Let's have a look. Brown Eyed Girls left YouTube and then came back. Okay. That explains it. So, do you have any burning questions or any more burning questions about YouTube moderation? Or about how to get moderators, or things that you can do for your moderators, or whatever it is. Now, while we're talking specifically about YouTube moderation, I'm not talking only YouTube moderation. So a lot of these rules and not rules, but a lot of these recommendations span across your Discord, your Facebook groups. If you have any place where you are encouraging a community, so live stream chats are definitely community, Discord servers, Facebook groups, circle groups, mighty networks, like any of those sorts of things where you are forging a community, you need to have moderators in there. These need to be people that understand your community, and they quite often desperately need moderation, because a lot of these groups you can just come into, they're public groups. And there've been groups where I say a fandom, right? Like I like a few different things, but there's a particular fandom. And every time someone comments, there's this random fake account that's like, oh, hey, such and such is, rewarding their favorite fans with a call, like the WhatsApp crap, right? So you need to be in there removing those, because there are people, especially on Facebook, but there are people out there who don't know that this is a scam. They don't know. We would probably, those of us in here, we probably know instantly there's no way that's happening. Like that is a legit scam. Report. But there are some people who don't know. Like, for these scammers to continue doing this, somebody is falling for it. So you need to make sure it's not someone in your community, and how you can do that is making sure you have moderators, okay? They don't need to be admins, but they absolutely need to be at least moderators. Have an awesome day at work, Doug. Thank you for joining in and moderating this chat on moderation. I appreciate you. Be safe out there. It's a wet one. Michael Sahovsky, you are late. We are nearly done. We're not done yet, but nearly. But it's good to see you. Thank you so much. You still haven't ventured into hanging out in Discord? Depending on the group, it can be a dumpster fire, because like a lot of places, people are not having enough moderators to help their communities. So Travel Around Susie says she's loving all this information, definitely taking notes. If you have more questions, don't forget, you can jump in to the replays and pop your questions in the comments. I check them all the time. I really do. Because sometimes you'll be watching a live stream. Oh, I didn't see anything. Hang on a second. Wow, Gary?
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee, 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 coffee. Cappuccino.
I didn't see
Java.
it come in. Thank you so much. Thank you for sending the message. Home Rapid Repairs has sent me 5 coffees. You're a champion. Thank you so much. You know how much I love coffee. Okay. Thank you very much. The notification. You're done notifications. Okay. So, for those of you that like to catch my live streams, they're on at the same time every week. It's 9 a.m. Monday, Brisbane time for me, 7 p.m. Eastern Sunday night if you're in the US or out the Eastern time zone. So you can work it from that. But I stream at the same bat time, same bat station every week. So, yeah. Let me have a look. Esme says, thank you for doing your mod thing, Doug. And you too, Chantelle. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Chantelle and I met up for lunch. She's bubbly, knowledgeable, positive, and equally awesome in real life. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I actually, believe it or not, my favorite streams, I have them in my phone, in my digital calendar. So my phone reminds me, even if YouTube doesn't. Yeah, almost every week, unless I'm sick or traveling. Usually at the moment, it seems that I'm sick every 5 minutes. It's driving me insane. But yes, but I do try to put a notification in the community tab. When USA was on daylight savings time, you were an hour earlier, but yes, always the same time. I definitely try. And last week I was a few minutes late just because I had technology glitches. Now, I do want to say last week, that was not intentional. It's just what happened. I was talking about, things happen and you need to be prepared for when they crash and burn. And then I crashed and burned like 2 minutes before the stream, which was not intentional, but it really got me in the mood for the stream, let me tell you. I think, so my one overall and overarching thing is you need to appreciate your moderators. I didn't see a question about using relatives. Can you pop the question? Oh, here it is. Should you avoid having relatives as mods in case there are disagreements? Look, it's like anything, right? Can your relatives be professional? Do they understand that this is your business and this is not time for them to bring up the fact that when you were 15, you locked them out of the house and laughed at them through the windows while they were banging on the doors. And then when mum came out and you hid, so they didn't know, mum just thought they were banging on the doors and being dumb, and then they got in trouble. It's not a time for those kinds of conversations. So as long as they can be professional, because this is your profession, then sure, use a relative. You trust them, don't you? I mean, you may not. It depends on your relatives. But if you trust your relatives, you can do. Absolutely, you can do. But they do have to understand. That's not a true story, by the way. No, I just made that up on the spot. I don't believe I've done that to my brother or either of them. I mean, it's something I would do, but I don't think I did. No. But yes, like any moderator, it has to be someone you trust. And somebody who understands that this is your business. Like, especially for you, Russell, you're running webinars on helping people move interstate. So, yeah. Oh, wow. This one person channel who made me a mod, I told him I didn't want to be a mod anymore. He refused to unmod me because he appreciated my moderator style. So I stopped going to his channel. Wow. That's a horrendous mod story. And that is 100% the reason why we should be able to demod ourselves if we want to step back from a channel. Because the other thing is sometimes it's the other way around, right? So while a mod is an extension of you as the creator, and you want to make sure those mods, are to your standard or whatever it is, or understand your sense of humor, or they're doing the right thing for you. as a moderator, you're also connected to that streamer. So if that streamer starts going off the rails and starts doing stuff you no longer agree with, or for whatever reason it's not your taste anymore, I think you should be able to disconnect yourself from that channel as well, because you're seen as approving of the message as an individual person. So especially if you're like me and have your name attached to your channel. So if you just have a user handle rather than a name, it's probably less, but then that handle is still associated. So you need to make sure that you're protecting your associations as an individual, as a moderator, and as a streamer. And as a human, I think we need to be always protecting our associations. Absolutely, I can always forgive you, always. So yeah. But I've definitely got it on a list for messages to Renee to find out if that's something that we could organise, because I think moderators should be able to remove themselves because people change. Even YouTube has options in there now from removing people from different levels of advertising, depending on what they do. So yeah, there's some creators that used to be like top tier that went into the toilet. So you've got to be able to sort that out. Let's have a look. All right. Well, I'm going to have another sip of my coffee. Do you have any other YouTube questions? It doesn't necessarily have to be moderator related, but if you've got any questions about anything, drop them in the chat. I think we've really kept to our topic today, which is just like earth-shattering news that never happens in these streams, possibly because I'm obsessed with moderation, and there was so many phenomenal and good questions in here about it. SMA Sky said, I think blocking the channel you mod should cut. See, I don't want that to be the only option. I don't think you should have to block a channel. I don't think you should have to, honestly. I think there should be an easier way to make it possible to remove the mod link. I don't think you should have to be forced. Like, you may still enjoy the content, but you don't want the pressure of having the moderator wrench, then you should be able to just remove that without having to block the channel and then, you know, maybe come back in. Yes, agreed. It shouldn't be the only option, but there should be a way. Yes, agreed. So yeah, so if you've got any YouTube questions, Michael Sahovsky is asking, how do I sponsor your channel? Send me an email, Michael. There's an ant on me. On my About page, there's an email address there that you can use, so you can totally send an email through and we can have a discussion about it. Thanks for this live. I really needed to hear these awesome tips from you and your community. I want to get back into regular live streaming, and there are some awesome things to consider. Absolutely. Live streaming is so much fun. It really is. I highly recommend everybody live streams, but in a way that makes it so that their brain can do. The ant is still on me. I don't like things on me. Yes, you can. Absolutely. In your settings, let me just... I'm just going click. I'm just finding exactly where it is for you. Hang on, I'm gonna have to go into a different screen. All right, so you can absolutely make it so nobody except for you or your moderators can add links. So it is under settings. Nope. So in YouTube Studio, click settings in there. So you've got to go into Studio, then click settings, then under permission, no, not permissions, under community. If you scroll down, you've got to scroll a fair way down. And I don't want to put this on screen because I have to scroll past my block words list and it's got words in it I don't want you to see. Right at the bottom, or at least at the bottom on this channel, scroll right down, there's a checkbox for block links. So yeah. And it's like URLs sent in live chat are already blocked. Hang on. If you select this option, new comments with hashtags and URLs will be held for review. This setting does not apply to you, so as in the channel owner, moderators, or approved users. So yes, absolutely. Yes, you can absolutely sponsor multiple channels, but you need to create a sponsorship deal with each individual channel. It's not like a blanket thing where you're like, I check this one and this one and this one. And it's outside of YouTube that it needs to be done. So there's no way to like click something like, you know, like a membership or join or something like that for a channel sponsorship. I've been streaming, I guess, 8 hours a day, roughly, the sun and the moon through my telescope, but I can set it and walk away. I actually haven't talked yet other than in the chat box. Okay. That's definitely a thing. That's a thing. There's only 2 shorts where I've spoken. Ah, wow, there you go. You don't have to worry about if you lose your voice. You can still stream. I lost my voice and couldn't stream for a couple of weeks. Yeah, no, that doesn't just do it for lives. That block links removes them from all content. It's not just for live streams. Can you scroll up a second, please? Oh, here we go. Sorry. What's the max amount of time a channel owner can set for an inappropriate comment posted in chat other than blocking the viewer? So, you can just delete the comment if you want. You can time out, and the maximum timeout time is 24 hours. So yeah, they're your options. So you can also, whatever that comment is, put it into your block words list so that they can't put that comment in again. If there's anything that triggers you or makes you upset or distracts you in a negative way, add that to your block words list. You can add phrases, not just individual words. So, you know, I've got things in my block words list. I'm not going to mention them, but there are things in my block words list that if people write that are just mean comments, I've slowly added them and just cut and paste and drop them into my block words list. What is an approved user? Look, I'll be honest, I don't use the approved users, but I'm going to open it back up and read what YouTube says the approved user is. Approved users, comments from these users are automatically published and won't be filtered for blocked words, blocked links, or potentially inappropriate content. These users will also be able to send messages in live chat when the live commentary participant mode is on. So these are basically people that get to sit above all your rules. So if there's somebody who, and I have nobody in my approved users list, I just want to point that out. If there is somebody that you're like, whatever they say is cool, you can put them into your approved users list. I personally don't think anyone should have that power on my channel, but me, because, you know, power. If you time someone out, they get notified. If you block them, it doesn't. Do you know what? If somebody writes an inappropriate comment, I'm happy for them to be notified. Like, what you said was bad, and that has been removed. Yeah, that's right. The one chat feature I personally detest, but do understand the rationale, of course, on many levels, is slow mode. Look, for me to use slow mode, my chat has to be exceptionally fast and I have to not be able to read the comments. Or it's just moving too quickly, or I don't have moderators and I need time to be able to get in and ban somebody before they put like 27,000 comments of disgusting nature in my chat. There are a lot of different reasons why slow mode is useful. And it just means that, like, and you can set the time on slow mode. It doesn't have to be 1 minute before post. It can be just enough time to help you to sort of moderate. And, you know, there are times when, as a moderator, I've requested slow mode because it has been, as a managing moderator, I've even on one occasion just put the slow mode on myself without getting approval. It wasn't an issue with that particular streamer. I knew it wouldn't be, which is why I did it. But there are reasons for doing it. And some of them are things along the lines of, you have one moderator and the chat is busy. You have no moderators and you're moderating yourself while you're live streaming. Or you're talking about a contentious topic and you really want to just keep on top of the comments. But I don't see why people, and it is micromanaging. It is, but sometimes you need to micromanage. So I don't personally use it on a chat like this where there's not 11 billion people, but is there a max number of mods on a live? Not that I've seen. But one thing I'll say is when I go into a chat and everybody has a wrench, I instantly think I have to double check the streamer. Now, some streamers, they don't stream all that often and only their mods really jump in. That's different. But there are some streamers out there who honestly reward their viewers with a mod wrench. They've been around long enough, they just get to be a mod. And I disagree with that entirely. I think you should have a limited number of mods. But the limit depends on you. The limit depends on you. So there are some streams where 5 mods is not enough. And then there are others where 5 mods is too many. So it just depends on how busy your chat is. And the other thing is I wouldn't rely heavily on one moderator, because what if that moderator is sick or can't turn up and you've got no moderator then? So having a few moderators that don't always show up is better. One channel I watch often, they were rated several times. At the time, the mod tools weren't great, so they locked chat to commentary only and then modded everyone they were familiar with so we could get in, so you could still chat. There's a lot more options now for moderators. So I honestly believe assigning someone that you absolutely inherently trust as a managing moderator is great, because it means that they can lock it to subscriber only mode, they can lock it to slow mode, they can do all these things for you, so that somebody else doesn't, so that you don't have to worry about it. Someone's got your back. Andrew Can is in the house. Why is it whenever I see Andrew's name I need to have water? I don't know what it is. Yeah, I think the managing moderator is great. Do you ever divide the work? Absolutely. Prime example is Nick Niman's streams on the Saturday morning 9 a.m. Eastern. Doug and I have set tasks. So there's other moderators around as well, but Doug and I both have different things that we focus on so that we can focus. There's a busy chat. There's a lot of people, and we're giving actual help as well. We're not just removing or something like that. We'll be answering questions. So sometimes we'll need to be off grabbing a link or something. And we're actually on a voice call with each other at the time as well. So I'll be like, I'm going to go over to this channel and check out what their problem is. And he'll be like, cool, I'll keep an eye on the chat. So we have assigned tasks. So he's got his list of jobs. I've got my list of jobs, and we both help with questions within the chat as well. So, so that things get done. And we know that I don't have to, Doug doesn't have to worry about putting in the hydrate or reminding people how to fill in the form or anything like that, because that's on my list of things. And when a new channel VIP joins on, that's my list of tasks. So, you've got all these things. I'm just double checking that I just didn't miss something. My phone just did something and I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it again. So splitting the tasks amongst your moderators can be helpful as well, especially if you have an exceptionally busy chat. That is actually a really useful thing to do. Let me look here. Did I miss a message? Are you off to work? Have an awesome day, an amazing week. Also wishing the same to everyone else here, wherever you are. That's awesome. That's awesome. Brown Eyed Girl says, this was very valuable and appreciate. Thank you so much for these great nuggets. Have a good day. Feel good. Enjoy your day or evening. Excellent. Is there back channel mod to mod? No, not within YouTube itself. Twitch has that, but YouTube does not. So we create our own back channels. So whether or not, I tend to create Facebook Messenger groups for my moderators, so they've got a back channel chat. Doug and I just do one ourselves. But it depends. Some people don't want to be on a voice call during, And some people are too busy focusing on this and maybe doing something else, and they don't want to have a third chat. It depends on the individuals, but I personally think the mods should be having a mod chat open, available, so that they can just be like, hey, keep an eye on this one. You know, they were here last week. Like, say someone wasn't here, they were here last week. They were a bit disruptive, but they were borderline. So you can just sort of, so people are aware, and it's just helpful. It also helps mods feel like they're not by themselves. The voice chat thing is a cool idea. Sometimes I wish the places I mod, we had that. We do Discord though, but we don't normally do voice chats. You can totally do it. You can totally set it up. And you as a mod, you can actually put it out there to the other mods and go, hey guys, I was thinking about trying this voice chat thing for while we're modding. Did you want to give it a try? And just starting it up. Like, you know, you don't even really need the permission of the streamer to voice chat with the other mods. Could you do that in a shared Google Doc? You could, yeah, but I mean, if we're chatting, I like to keep the Google Docs as docs, like as in something, you know, formatted. If you want to use it as a chat, I mean, rather than using the Google Doc, why not just use Google Chat? Honestly, if you've got Google Docs, set up Google Chat and grab your mods' email addresses and put them in as externals, and then they can have a chat right there. So yeah, you can totally set all these things up. Like I think it's better for the streamer to set it up for you if you can, like as a streamer, do that. But if you are modding and there's other mods and you would like to chat with them while you're modding, there's nothing to say you can't approach them and go, hey, I was thinking about doing this thing. Would you be up for that? It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt anything. And one thing I'll say is, on the weeks where Doug and I can't voice chat while we're modding Nick's streams, I can say those 3-hour streams are harder to get through. I'll be honest, that they start at 11 p.m. my time, they run till 2. When it was the other time zones, they started at midnight and ran till 3, and sometimes we had D and Daniels afterwards, and then sometimes we'd have, you know, another one after that, and it's like the sun's coming up, and having that voice chat really makes it so you can just keep going because there's someone there keeping you awake. Oh, thanks, Michael. Always appreciate them. Yeah, Twitch has some good mod tools. Not all of them I use or do, but you know, they definitely have better mod tools than YouTube. YouTube is improving. I will say that YouTube is improving. Alrighty, I'm going to drink some more of my coffee. On one channel I mod for, we have a Discord and all the different platform mods are there. It's handy because if one of us may not be available, we can let the others know ahead of time. It's super useful. And that's why, like with Fiberific, we have our little mod group. We have some of them come and go, hey, look, because my stream is the middle of the workday here in Australia and some of them work. And so it'll be like, hey, you know, I'm going to have a meeting at this time, so I'm not going to make it. So the other mods are there like, okay, cool, such and such isn't going to be there. I'll keep a closer eye or whatever, you know, like making it so the mods can support each other as well is super beneficial. It does nothing but help you. When did I start? 90 minutes ago. I'm actually just about to wind up. So yeah, but Karen, if you've got any questions about moderating, drop them in now. I'm drinking coffee and hanging out a little bit before I go. So please don't feel like you've missed out. I know you've come in a little late, but yeah, if you've got a question about moderation or group moderating, Facebook, I've experienced in Facebook, Discord, what's the heart one? Heart? I don't know. A couple of different places that I moderate in. Some I'm more comfortable in, others, YouTube, Facebook, and Discord are my top 3. So yeah. But I'm going to drink some more coffee out of my Yeti while it's delicious and hot. Okay. We have had a really fun chat today. And part of it is I'm very passionate about moderation, and I truly believe that is it is a hand-in-hand thing. The streamer needs to support the moderator needs to support the streamer. It's a team And I think if you treat your moderators like part of your team, you will ultimately, it will be better for you as well. They will feel like they're part of something. They're not just out there on their own. And I think remembering that, you know, we're quite often by ourselves in our creation journey, for 90% of the time, unless we're in groups and things like that. Most of us don't have real life people to go and hang out with and talk to about this sort of thing. So having your moderators and the live streamers actually in conversations with each other and not just treating them like yeah, they're expected, like whatever, they'll be there, you know, actually treating them like you respect their time. And sorry, there's like ants on my table, it's driving me insane. You respect them, you respect their time, because I certainly do. I know, especially the moderators that I have here, they are very busy people, and I stream at a time that is not necessarily a good time for them. So when they pop in and they are here, I'm always so grateful. Like Doug, he was on his way to work. He was modding on a bus, you know, like it's being respectful of them as well as people. I have 3 mods on my channel. They're always positive and welcoming viewers. That is awesome. That is awesome. And that's the thing. Some creators like someone to welcome in every single person as they join the chat. Some people don't. And that having that set up in your chat rules for your moderators is a really good thing, and making that really clear. So I tend to have it like, I just about knocked over my coffee then. I tend to have it so that if somebody says, hey, chat, so that somebody responds back, at least one of the moderators should respond back. But like if they just start talking or asking a question, whatever, I don't expect one of the moderators to go, oh, hey, such and such, welcome to the chat. Unless it's like, hey, such and such, welcome to the chat. Have you checked the rules? Because whatever they wrote was just a bit borderline. You know, like maybe I'm just really passive aggressive. Actually, I know I'm passive aggressive. So maybe that comes through in how I write things, possibly. But yeah, so earlier in the chat, we were talking about the importance of creating the expectations, or creating the sort of the boundaries and the guidelines for your moderators. So giving them an actual document of your chat rules for them, as well as the chat rules for the chatters, so that they can see they line up. Giving them a list of your expectations of them as a moderator. So some people, like I just said, I don't expect my moderators to welcome in every individual into my chat. I just don't. But if they want to, they can, for sure. And, you know, because I want them to enjoy and just be part of the chat too. Like they're not just there as like, you know, like, weeding. Like I mean, I will admit, during the Nick Niven streams, I'm kind of there with my hammer, just waiting, like whack-a-mole basically. But chats like this is different. It's different. I feel bad. I normally have less than 10 in a live. So, you know what? Like, that's 10 people, right? And this is the thing. That's 10 people who sit there and spend time with you every week. They have sat down. They have made the effort to be there at the time you are there. And that is nothing to sneeze at. Like, are there 10 people in your life that you could say, hey, meet me at this coffee shop every single week? And they would always be there. Like, no. There might be 5. There might be 3. There might be 7. But 10 or more? Like, this is the special relationship we get to have with our live stream audience. So yeah, this is the thing. There you go. Like, see, look, you're not alone. There's SMA Skies and Travel Around Susie's. They have the same points. They have the same things. Our audiences, while we're live, are a special group of people. They are the people who care about what it is that you have to say. They are the people that come in week on week and wait for you to impart whatever it is that you want to impart. These people, like, in my opinion, these are your super fans. These are the people that make the effort to be there when you're there. Now, I know we also have our super fans that are on different time zones and cannot be there, but they're the ones that come in and make sure they comment in your live streams to let you know they did come. I was there. It's just a bit late, you know. This is so true. He does. He just turns up just to double check I've got my Yeti out. I made sure I put my coffee in a Yeti just in case. Like, seriously, Yeti, you need to sponsor me just because Russell makes me use my Yeti every week. The Fiberific live streams, I use two Yetis. I use 2 Yetis. Russell are very funny. And this is the thing. And thank you for saying this, but I want to respect your time. Like, I'm looking at the clock thinking, oh, I should probably end the stream. But I'm like, I don't have anything to do for another hour, so maybe I could hang out more. But this is the thing. I want to make it worth your while to come and chat. I want to make it, your time is valuable. And I want to make it so that you enjoy this time, whether it's entertainment or education or whatever your niche is. You need to make it enjoyable for your viewers. And whether, like at the start of this stream, we kept pretty well on topic. I was a bit shaky at the start. I'd had a bit too much Ventolin and was quite literally a bit shaky. But we stuck to our topic, and then we get to the end, and this is where you guys, specifically the super fans, I don't like doing this, but you are still here. So I'm still here. Because if you've got a question, I want to try and answer it. I want to try and make your live streaming, or even just you as a viewer, understand how live streaming works. I know over on my Fiberific channel, I would say I've probably got the best educated yarn craft viewers out there. They understand how to change from top chat to live chat. They understand the importance of sharing the stream. They understand all the little, because I can't not talk about YouTube is my problem. I'm obsessed. So if my obsession can help you, I'm here for that. Have an awesome one, Brian. And I hope you don't have to be there for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week in those live streams. And if you are, I sure as heck hope you're being paid for it, or it's worth your while. In saying that, I did used to watch a Twitch stream that I was not a moderator, but I would watch this Twitch stream. It was like a series of shows. And so I would just watch it all the time. It was just on. It was basically on the TV, and every time I walk past it, I might just sit down for a minute and be like, oh, that's cool, you know. But I just left it on because it was like a TV channel for me, because there was all these different little Dungeons and Dragons shows, and like they'll play D&D, or they would talk about movies or comic books. Like they had all these different segments with different hosts. It was like TV. It was great. They don't do quite that much stuff anymore. Travel around, Susie. I very much appreciate you saying that. Anything more on live streaming to Facebook groups? Look, some of the third-party softwares are showing their workarounds. You'll still be able to RTMP stream to those. So you'll need to go in, open up the Facebook streaming like their streaming window, grab the RTMP, drop that into like OBS for you probably, or StreamYard. And drop that in and set it up as an RTMP. The catch with RTMP streaming is you cannot put the comments on the screen. There's no signal coming back. You are basically dropping stuff into Facebook. There's no backwards and forwards. It's just one-way traffic. So you need to have the Facebook window open at the same time. So making sure that you understand that and having a way to be able to see that. Not everybody runs dual screen. So making sure that you understand how the RTMP servers work. I am hearing of a workaround. I haven't tried it, but because you can still stream to pages. So streaming to pages, but then dropping that page stream into your group. But then that means that the public page is open and everybody can see that. So it depends on why you're streaming to a group as to whether or not that will work. But yeah, at this stage, Facebook is standing fast. 22nd is today for me in Australia. So if you stream to Facebook groups, you will lose access to all your third party. And it's not just streaming either. If you use Agora Pulse for Teams, if you any third party tool that you use into a Facebook group, it will lose access on the 22nd. Not just streaming stuff. So any tool that you're using for Facebook, it will be cut. Let's have a look. I don't think my lap, because you're an OBS streamer as well. Yeah. So if you use something like StreamYard, it means it treats it as a single stream going off your computer and then StreamYard do the rest. Like Ecamm, like OBS, every extra destination is double or triple. Like right now I'm streaming to LinkedIn, Twitter and YouTube. And if they're working, which I only really keep an eye on YouTube, I'll be honest. If it's working, then it's actually using triple the amount of upload than it would use if I was just going to YouTube. Yeah. SMA Sky. So Facebook is cutting all of it. As of the 22nd, Facebook is removing their API access. So if you stream to a Facebook group, you will no longer be able to do it in the way that you've done it before, even using something like StreamYard. So it will be RTMP only. Such great info for Facebook. I'm still clueless on that platform. Look, I will say I am more comfortable with YouTube. I understand some of the restrictions for Twitch and for Facebook, but YouTube is my home. I've got a tickle in my throat. Hang on. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to have to go and deal with my throat. I feel like I'm holding back a cough. Hang on, it's coming. All right, so I'm going to run away. I'm going to go and do some other things before I have to head out. I hope that you have, hang on, before I run away, what's RTMP? That is a direct signal for you to be able to stream into different softwares. You'll need to Google it depending on the different streaming software that you're using. If you're on StreamYard, they have a whole page on their website on how to use RTMP. So you can go and check it out because you can add RTMPs and make that a destination. So sometimes you'll need to set it up for every stream if you've got a stream key. Otherwise, you'll need to... Otherwise, you can just set it up as a once only, but it will depend. And I'm not sure which way Facebook's going to make you go. But if you're on StreamYard, there's a whole page on StreamYard about streaming using RTMP. Anyway, I will see you all later. Have an awesome week. I'll see you back here 9 a.m. Brisbane time, my time, or 7 p.m. Eastern. And I will catch you all. Bye now.